All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to look at how pure serendipity has completely shaped our understanding of history and science. We spend so much time and money intentionally digging through the past, but some of the most, earth-shattering discoveries actually happen when we aren't even looking for them.
I mean, really think about it. We meticulously plan these massive, multi-million-dollar expeditions to uncover the past, right? But the most jaw-dropping historical and scientific breakthroughs, they often happen when we're looking for something else entirely. So today, we're going to look at 4 incredible moments where a simple mistake, maybe a routine scan, or just a desperate dig accidentally rewrote the history books.
Okay, let's start with number 1, the underwater hunting ground. So picture this. It's 2007, and an archaeologist named Dr. Mark Hawley is out on a totally routine mission, just scanning the freezing depths of Lake Michigan for a shipwreck. But instead of a ship, his sonar hits this inexplicable, perfectly straight mile-long line of massive stones. Naturally, he puts on his scuba gear and dives down to take a look, and no ship. Just this line of stones leading to a perfect circle and a deep trench. The whole thing baffled everyone. That is until 2009, when an anthropologist named John O'Shea found the exact same structures 300 kilometers away over in Lake Huron.
And this brilliantly illustrates something called the ancient drive lines hunting method. Thousands of years ago, native peoples in North America hunted caribou. Now, caribou have this very specific natural instinct. They absolutely love to walk in perfectly straight lines. So early humans exploited this. They built these straight lines of stones, basically effortlessly funneling the animals right into a circular trap with a lethal ditch where hunters were already hiding. So Dr. Hawley's accidental underwater find? Actually a highly engineered ancient hunting ground. Pretty wild, right?
Moving right along to number 2, an impossible ancient shipwreck.
Fast forward to 2023. About 55 miles off the coast of Israel, there's this deep-sea robot searching for oil, a full mile below the surface. Suddenly, it spots this bizarre mound. The Israel Antiquities Authority sends down a specialized robot to carefully extract some of the items, and they find hundreds of clay pots. Pots that once held agricultural stuff, olive oil, wine. And beneath those pots, a buried 40-foot wooden vessel. When they carbon dated it, the number was astonishing. This ship was 3,300 years old. That makes it literally the deepest and oldest shipwreck ever discovered in human history. Now, here's why this matters. Finding a 3,300-year-old ship a mile deep, completely out in the open ocean, that fundamentally rewrites history. The Mediterranean Sea is massive. We're talking 1 million square miles, and the ways out there can be incredibly dangerous. Finding this ship proved that ancient sailors over 3 millennia ago actually possessed incredibly advanced navigation technology. They were out there conquering the extreme open waters far, far beyond what we previously thought they were capable of, all found because of an oil robot.
All right, that brings us to number 3, the living dinosaur fish, otherwise known as the coelacanth.
So, it's a chilly morning back in 1938, and a South African fisherman pulls up this glowing blue, 5-foot creature. Without knowing it, he had accidentally caught a coelacanth. Now, this is a fish scientists were absolutely certain went extinct 65 million years ago right alongside the T-Rex. And when you actually look at its anatomy, it's just bizarre. Normal fish have delicate, flexible fins, right? Well, not the coelacanth. It has 4 fleshy, bone-filled limbs that it moves in an alternating pattern. It literally moves exactly like a horse walking on land.
And the weirdness doesn't stop at its legs either. Honestly, this creature is basically an alien. It's the only living creature with a jointed skull, which allows it to unhinge its upper jaw to swallow massive prey. Plus, it hunts in the pitch-black ocean depths, not with its eyes, but by using this special rostral organ near its nose to detect faint electrical impulses from other fish. Oh, and unlike most fish that lay eggs, the coelacanth incubates its eggs internally and gives birth to live young.
But perhaps the wildest adaptation of this 400-million-year-old survivor is its head. To survive the crushing deep water pressure of the ocean, the coelacanth evolved an incredibly unique skull composition. Get this, its skull is filled with 99% fat. That leaves only 1% for its remarkably tiny brain. That fat basically acts as the perfect shock absorber against the intense oceanic pressure. And to think, we only know this thing is still alive because of a random lucky strike with a fishing net.
And finally, number 4, the Emperor's Hidden Army of Xi'an, China.
Let's travel back to 1974. During a brutal drought, a group of desperate farmers are out digging a new well by hand.
About 15 feet down into the dry dirt, a farmer named Yang Jaffa strikes something incredibly hard. He clears away the dirt and uncovers a terracotta head with two eyes staring right back at him from the darkness. He took it back to his village, but, instead of celebrating, the locals were absolutely terrified. At the time, they viewed statues unearthed from the dirt as a very dark omen of bad luck.
Well, word eventually reached the Chinese government, and they rushed in to excavate, and what they found beneath that farmer's field was staggering. It wasn't just one statue, it was the immortal underground army of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. They unearthed an unbelievable force of over 8,000 unique terracotta soldiers, all armed with real brass weapons. And, astonishingly, this is the crazy part, every single soldier features distinctly different hair, facial features, and uniforms.
But there is kind of a dark twist to this priceless archaeological find. Those villagers, their intense fears of a bad omen actually came true. The government ended up evicting the farmers, demolishing their village, and taking their land away to build the massive museum that sits right over the site today.
So what else is hidden, waiting to be found? From high-tech oil robots stumbling upon ancient navigation marvels in the deep ocean, to a simple shovel unearthing an immortal empire, we see that serendipity is often our absolute greatest historian. We can plan all we want, but sometimes the Earth just decides it's time to reveal a secret.
Which leaves us with one incredibly thrilling thought to take away from this explainer today. If a mile-long ancient hunting ground, a literal living dinosaur fish, and an 8,000-man underground army were all found completely by mistake, how much of our world is still completely undiscovered, just resting silently beneath our feet, waiting for the perfect accident to happen?